It's gonna be a great fight. Ugas, a guy, like I said, he always comes to fight. He never turned down his collar to fight anybody. But with all respect to Pacquiao, I feel like I'm a way different fighter than Pacquiao. I feel like at this point right now, I'm a better fighter than Pacquiao. I mean, I keep bringing up Pacquiao, but that's like Larry Holmes fighting Ali, or Terry Norris beating up Sugar Ray Leonard, or Maidana beating up Eric Morales. Like Pacquiao's way past his prime. That was the passing of the torch for myself, but I missed the opportunity. So, I'm just going to put on a great performance. Like I said, he's a great fighter. He's going to come to fight. He's a real warrior. But I'm going to put on a great show and great performance for my crowd, and I'm hungry too.
In this video, I will show you Errol Spence calls it quits at welterweight. He says he got about 2 fights left in him, and then it's time to move up. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. So I made a video about this Ego Weight Watchers. You see the boy Errol Spence. He's chizzy right now. He's in great shape ahead of his April 16th fight with Yordenis Ugas out of Cuba. This fight excites me. I think it's an amazing fight. And you see Errol is diced up and he's ready to go. His trainer in the background, and it should be a great fight. It's a 3-belt unification. Now, Errol Spence, he is doing everything, and I have to keep stressing this. He's doing what he said he was going to do in the weight class. But before I double down on that point, let me get into what Errol said, which is why you clicked on the video, about moving up. In an interview with the DAZN boxing show, Errol Spence says, and I will highlight it for you, make sure you follow along and hit the subscribe button for the latest and greatest. He says, quote, "I've been done with this weight. Once I do what I said I was going to do, get these belts, then move up. I got 2 fights. I got to fight 2 more fights at 147, then I'm moving up." So presumably a fight with Ugas, which I just told you about, and then Terrence Crawford. Those are the only 2 remaining guys in the belt, in a belt position, holding a belt, right? So he's letting you know that it's probably getting harder and harder to make weight. So it's about that time for Errol Spence to move up. Now, some people underestimate how hard it truly is to continue fighting at a certain weight. But just to provide some perspective, a lot of these guys are fighting, not everybody, but a lot. They're fighting at weights that they weighed in the amateurs. So when they're 14, 15, 16, 17 years old or whatnot, they were weighing around the same weight, and they've had to maintain it as a pro. Some people slightly move up. It's on a case-by-case basis. So just to give you guys some perspective, imagine whatever you weighed when you were in high school, and then picture 5, 8, 10 years later, and you're at the same exact weight that you weighed in high school. Because I know a lot of people, as I say it, listening to my video, they probably revert back to whatever they weighed in high school. Let's say you weighed 155, and then you step on the scale today, you don't weigh 155 anymore, So that's the reality for these boxers. The discipline, the blood, sweat, and tears, the sacrifice to continue time and time again doing these weight cuts. At some point, especially when you hit that 30 mark, which Errol Spence is, it's going to get harder and harder and harder to do, because the male body, there's certain changes that happen as you age. Your metabolism slows down. This is not my opinion. This is scientific fact. You also have changes, and your testosterone levels dip and drop as you get older. So for guys, like, one person that comes to mind is guys like Lamont Peterson. The man Lamont Peterson, he stayed at 140 for so long, like his whole career, and then he started moving up later on. You look at Gary Antoine Russell, the brother of Gary Russell Jr., and Gary Russell's brother just fought Victor Postal. He's another person that comes to mind where Victor Postal, he looks like he's 5'10" or so, and he's been at this consistent weight for several years. So it's very hard to do. Errol Spence is not surprising. It's not surprising that age 30, 31, whatever age he is exactly, that he's deciding that he needs to move up. Now, you got to give credit to Errol Spence because Errol Spence has been a man of his word. The things he's said he was going to do, hey, I don't need a tune-up. I'll fight Danny Garcia straight away after accident. I need something that's going to motivate me. He say these things, and then guess what? He fights Danny Garcia, no tune-up. And people are like, hey, man, you should take a tune-up. So, headstrong dude, he's saying he has to move up. Now, interesting thing is PBC, as I mentioned, one of the bad things for Terrence Crawford is if the Terrence Crawford fight doesn't happen for any number of reasons, which I have my own theories on that. So if the Canelo or the Crawford fight doesn't happen for whatever reason, which politics could get in the way of that. I made a video about it. It looks like Terrence Crawford is with Daniel Kinahan, not PBC. Then that could complicate things. But the interesting thing to look at is the landscape of 154. The 154-pound division is predominantly owned by Al Haymon fighters, so that shouldn't be a problem for Errol Spence to get a fight. But you have his stablemate, Jermell Charlo, who's getting ready to fight against Castano for all the marbles and undisputed. So I know Errol Spence in this interview, he mentioned fighting Charlo and said, hey, that's my brother and stablemate, but we have to break bread. And I know they have some epic sparring, but I don't truly know that that fight would actually manifest and happen. It'd be like, you know, Adrian Broner fighting Robert Easter Jr. or Lucas Matisse fighting Maidana. There's reasons they didn't fight as pros, even though these are all great fights. So I don't know how that'll exactly work, but let me know what you guys think. Errol Spence moving up. There's still some good options, but the winner of Charlo Castano has all the belts. Subscribe to my channel. Let me know how I did in the video. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego. Signing off. And I'm up. Over the last 28 days, I looked at my YouTube analytics and it showed me roughly 50% of you guys that watch my video are subscribed. That means the other half have failed to subscribe to the channel. If you did content like this, I don't know if it slipped your mind, maybe you forgot, subscribe to the channel goes a long way. Worst case scenario, if you don't like the content, then you can always unsubscribe. Support creators and subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest. I got you covered when it comes to boxing. This is your one-stop shop. You dig? The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.